All right, fair use, fair use. This your brother Romy back with another lesson. Lord, wouldn't it be edifying? Start by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Wahab, Rakakadash, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shah. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, bishops, a great millstone who taught the truth. Shalom to the 144,000 men of the Lord you see on the highways and byways, prophesying in the name and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, also the correct doctrine. We want to send a shalom to the one-third men, women, and children that will escape the judgment of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah by their faith. So you got another lesson I want to bring out through the Spirit of the Lord. As you see, the announcement, Iran announces full-scale war, brace consequences. So this is basically Armageddon, the Battle of Armageddon, World War III. Now check this out.
Developing news coming in the past couple of hours today, July 20th, 2026, as we're hearing that the president of Iran has announced full-scale war is about to take place. It's about to be underway, and we need to all brace for the consequences of what is about to come. Let's go ahead and take a look at the latest headlines so that way you can see it for yourself. You can see here, just in, Iran's president Pezeshkian says that Iran is in a full-scale war with the United States. This coming out just a couple of hours ago. Ghalibaf, one of the leaders for Iran, he says Americans keep bringing new military equipment to the region and claim that they're after stopping the war. They bet on our intelligence being as brief as their own IQ. We've reached the stage of mastery in recognizing these American games, and on a basis we prepared ourselves. Actions must confirm claims, not contradict them. You can see this coming out just a little while ago today, and you can see here breaking Iran's foreign ministry on Trump planning to invade Karg Island. Many people on Karg Island are counting down the minutes to finally meet the American soldiers. They're saying preparing for all-out full-scale war announced today, and you can see the headlines coming out today. Pezeshkian tells Iranians to brace for the consequences of a full-scale war with the United States. Not only are we no longer in the MOU, but they are saying this is not a minor war. This is not tit-for-tat escalation. They're preparing to pull out all the stops to escalate this to full scale. Now, man, let me know your thoughts in the comments, because for the 9th straight night in a row, we have seen the United States pummeling Iran with attacks. We're hearing we're degrading their capabilities, yet they're saying they're prepared for all-out full-scale war. Now, take a look. You can see this coming out from Carolyn Leavitt from the White House. The U.S. military on Sunday night, last night, unleashed a 9th straight night of punishing aerial strikes on Iran, seeking to degrade Tehran's military capabilities after its attacks on American troops and ships in the Strait of Hormuz. You can see here the headlines: U.S. hits Iran for the 9th consecutive night. As American casualties rise, you can see this coming out yesterday, July 19th, and coming out today, expansion of U.S. strikes on Iran leads to more retaliation across the Gulf. As we're hearing, Iran is hitting back. They're hitting U.S. military bases and assets all throughout the Middle Eastern region. And we've actually seen another soldier killed, identified in attacks that took place this weekend. As take a look, the U.S. military identifies 2 soldiers killed during the Iranian strikes in Jordan, and we're hearing another one has been identified and killed as well. So there has been a lot going on, but we're hearing this is going to full-scale, all-out war.
So there you go, man. There's no turning back, full-scale war. And they pretty much just had their proxy army, the Houthis in Yemen, activated when they closed the Bab el Mandeb Strait that the Saudi Arabia can't get any ships through, man. So no oil is going to be coming to America, man, or any other place that they supply oil to. It's cut off. So you're going to see a major famine here in Babylon the Great, man. And that's all that's been talked about: famine, water shortages. This is what's going to happen here in Babylon the Great, man. And that's what we wanted our people to repent to the Lord, because the door is closing on the elect.
Iran is now claiming to have struck 20 hangars housing U.S. troops in Jordan, allegedly taking the lives of dozens of soldiers. At the same time, a new report revealed the Pentagon did not publicly disclose that dozens of U.S. troops were injured and several military helicopters were damaged during renewed fighting last week. U.S. officials defended this by saying CENTCOM is not legally required to publish immediate casualty numbers. Iran is also claiming to have launched missiles that destroyed 20 hangars housing U.S. forces at a strategic eastern Jordan base. The IRGC is saying this strike killed dozens of U.S. service members. However, U.S. officials confirmed the strike did occur, killing 2 Army soldiers and leaving at least another one missing, but strongly dispute the vast scale of damage and casualties claimed by Tehran. At the same time, Qatar tried to produce a temporary 10-day ceasefire proposal where the US and Iran would stop fighting, but a senior Iranian negotiator flatly rejected the deal on social media, saying don't even think about it. Iran has formally exited the MOU with the US, saying they're never going to start negotiations with us under any circumstances.
So there you have it, man. Those nations, which is Iran and Yemen, they're ready for war, man. And they're not going to come out and say, well, 200, 300 soldiers died. They're going to keep that on the wraps, man, because they want to keep the American people to the point where they don't know anything until it's too late. Now, World War III is the Battle of Armageddon that's written in the scriptures, man. It's just another name for the Battle of Armageddon because that area, the Valley of Yehoshaphat, that's the area of the Battle of Armageddon. Now, World War III is like I said, it is the Battle of Armageddon, but a lot of people still don't understand that this is it, man. And the Lord will return during the Battle of Armageddon, man. It's written. Check this out.
Everyone, I have a very big update. I just met with the team, and let me tell you, the clock is ticking, okay? With what I learned today, I don't care what you hear on the news. I don't care what you heard on the State of the Union address last night where the president saying everything is fine. Things are not fine. I think we are a match strike away from going into a world war. I got 3 messages from different sources that are in the U.S. Armed Forces saying it's about to go down, okay? They are prepping for a massive strike. And this is all going on in front of the whole world while the tensions are high in all the superpower countries. We have another country, you know which, that's doing an AI attack. And then we have another country, I'm not naming names here, but they flagged you. We have another country, I think you can figure it out, that is advertising that the U.S. is not going to be using diplomacy, and they are absolutely not going to be allowing Iran to have any nuclear weapons. All this going on, and people are talking about the economy and how great it's going. Wake up, people. They don't even care if they're caught lying anymore. They're getting ready for a global power shift. A global power shift. Stay ready. I have huge updates coming tomorrow.
So you have it, man. This is the talking of town right now. World War III, the Battle of Armageddon. This is all that's been talked about. Nobody's talking about the economy and things getting better. You know that's the economy is going to crash regardless. They don't really even shit. You can see that with the housing market. But the militaries are talking about all-out war, man. The World War III. China and Russia is about to enter into this fight, man, because Russia is backing Iran and China is as well, man. They're giving them technology and information on the whereabouts of different bases that America has, man.
United States military commander has just told the entire world to be on high alert for a possible World War III. Look.
I look around the globe. Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, and others are increasing their collaboration and their cooperation as their interests align against us. We see this clearly in Ukraine. While President Trump pushes for a peaceful resolution to a horrible war, China continues to fund Putin's war machine. Iran continues to supply technology and weapons. And North Korean combat troops remain in Russia on Ukraine's border. And of course, there's a confluence between Russia, Iran, and Venezuela and their dark fleet of oil tankers that is helping to fund the war. In the Arctic and the high north, we see a similar trend. Russian and Chinese vessels are conducting more and more joint patrols. Chinese icebreakers and research vessels are in Arctic waters, and their research is not for peaceful purposes. It's to gain a military advantage. Russia, meanwhile, continues testing advanced capabilities in the Barents Sea. As new shipping routes emerge and new resources are discovered, the Arctic only grows in strategic importance. And all of this comes in the midst of an increasing hybrid threat: airspace violations, GPS and GNSS interference, and the Shadow Fleet in the Baltic Sea threatening underwater infrastructure. In short, the Arctic, and Northern Europe by extension, has become a front line for strategic competition. Within NATO, Allied Command Operations, the command that SACEUR oversees, has taken steps to strengthen our deterrent posture, much of which is oriented in that northern region. Here. Just over a year ago, we established Baltic Sentry, an activity to protect that critical underwater infrastructure. And this past fall, we developed Eastern Sentry to increase our agility and further integrate our air and missile defenses on the eastern flank. More recently, in just the past month, we've realigned the boundaries of our joint commands, and now Joint Force Command Norfolk brings together NATO's activities in the Arctic under one command, allowing us to better defend all allies in Europe, in the Arctic, and the strategic approaches to North America.
So the main players are getting in place, man, for this war. They're getting in place, man. And while you think that that America has you know what I'm saying, is doing all this bombing, they're running out of missiles as well, man. They're not prepared for World War III, man, the Battle of Armageddon. And it shows you this is prophecy, man, that Babylon will be taken. So this is the Lord showing you through the Spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. This is everything is set in place the way the prophecy said it would happen.
This is huge breaking news coming in. Right now, U.S. military bases across the Middle East are facing an unprecedented invisible siege. Not a traditional kinetic strike, a strategic digital blackout. Critical early warning radars and multi-billion-dollar THAAD missile defense networks are being systematically blinded. But here is what the mainstream headlines are completely missing. Iran is executing the operation, but the digital fingerprint, the cyber architecture, and the satellite telemetry, that is pure Moscow. Listen closely to this next part, because it changes the entire global balance of power. For decades, American military supremacy relied on one thing: seeing the threat before it arrives. But Russia and Iran have just proven a terrifying new mathematical reality. You do not need to physically destroy a $2 billion American airbase. You just need to hack its eyes. If the radar is blind, the base is defenseless. This is not a random escalation. This is a highly calculated proof of concept. Moscow is handing Tehran the exact cyber keys needed to bypass the most advanced defense shields on Earth. Why? Because it forces the United States into a state of permanent tactical paralysis. And this is where it affects you. When U.S. defense grids in the Middle East go dark, the deterrence that protects the world's most critical oil choke points vanishes. Markets panic. Global shipping routes freeze. The cost of everything you buy relies on those radars staying on. What we are witnessing is a masterclass in asymmetric electronic warfare. The empire is not being defeated by superior firepower. It is being defeated by superior code. The Pentagon is scrambling to patch the grid, but the ultimate question remains. If Russia can help Iran turn off the lights in the Middle East today, what systems will they turn off tomorrow? Tell me in the comments, is the era of American technological dominance officially over?
There you go, man. So this thing is gonna get bad, man. He's speaking of an EMP that might, that Russia gonna pull out. That we've been speaking about, starting with the apostles and elders for many years, man. About him hitting this place with an EMP and all hell breaking loose. And I was on ChatGPT looking at a couple of breakdowns that they had. I'm gonna look at them later as I continue to, do a little research on that. But I want to hit a couple scriptures, man. I ain't gonna make it long. But the point is, we are in the Battle of Armageddon. This is it. This is Revelations 11 and verse 14. It says, "The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly." And we in that third woe, man. This is World War III, man. The third woe that was spoken of that would happen before the Lord returned, man. Because the Lord is going to return in the midst of World War III. This is Revelation 16 in verse 15. It says, and this is in a blue, this is a King James. It says, "Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon. See, this is the same thing as World War III, man, the third woe. And this is what we in, man. We're in the third woe, man. And the Lord is going to turn it up. Now you see in that Iran says full scale war, man. They're not holding back, man. They're not, pulling any shortcuts on their words. They're not mentioning their words. They're telling you straight up, man. We going all out war, man. This is Joel 3 and verse 2. It says, I will gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. See, this is the Lord's bringing judgment on the nations, especially Esau, start with Esau and all other nations as well, that he's going to come and bring judgment on them for what they did to the children of Israel, man. Dropping down to verse 9, it says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. And this is what's happening, man. The Lord has put on the spirit on the nations to prepare war, man. He says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, beat your plowshares and the swords, and your pruning hooks and the spears, let the weak say, I am strong, man. So Iran is not thinking, well, America is a superpower that we can't fight against them. No, they're preparing to fight, man, all out war, man. And they're not holding back, man. They know that this is the end. This is the end all, be all of wars, man. And they're not going to stop their war, man. It's not going to be a peace deal, a peace agreement coming out of this, man. Verse 11, it says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together around about. Hither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, man. See, the Lord is gathering these nations in the Levant for the last battle, man. He's gathering all the nations there. He says, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen around about. Put in the sickle, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great, man. Multitude in the valley of decision, for the day of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is near in the valley of decision. See, the Lord is near to come. He's going to come in the midst of World War III, man. This is what you have to be prepared mentally and spiritually for what's coming, man. Because the Lord is going to bring great destruction on the earth, man. This is Isaiah 34. Start at verse 1. It says, come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is upon all nations. See, the Lord is upon all nations, man. They part of his land, man. You read about this Psalms 83. He says, starting in verse 1, it says, and his fury upon all their armies. So these nations are being gathered to the Middle East to be destroyed by the Lord, man. He says, and he have utterly destroyed them. He have delivered them to the slaughter. See, the Lord is going to deliver them to the slaughter, man. So the Lord is going to come down with his angels and judge the nations, man. And this is what is being prepared, man. See, it's going to start off with, you know what I'm saying, with little skirmishes here, bombing and shooting. But it's going to turn quickly into thermonuclear destruction, man, where the nations are going to shoot missiles on Babylon the Great, man. This is Isaiah 9 and verse 5. It says, for every battle of the warriors with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire, man. You know what I'm saying? Because in an ancient world where they fought with hand-to-hand combat. But this one, they're going to shoot missiles, man. It's not going to be a hand-to-hand combat as they had in World War I, World War II. This is going to be mostly with missiles, man. That's why you're not seeing a lot of, that's all America's doing is bombing. And that's what all Iran is doing, is shooting bombs and drones. There's no hand-to-hand combat. But it's going to soon turn into a thermonuclear war once the Russians and China really gets into the battle, man. It's going to escalate fast, man. This is Zephaniah 3 and verse 8. It says, therefore, wait ye upon me, saith Yahweh Shem Yahushua, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms to pour upon them my indignation, even all my furious anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy, man. So the Lord is not playing, man. You can play, but the Lord is not playing. Because a lot of people are finna die, man. Very gruesome deaths. This is Matthew 24 in verse 29. It says, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in the cloud, and it's like in the heaven. So when all hell breaking loose, man, the time of tribulation, that's what's coming. That's the time of Jacob's trouble. When it's going to be a famine, water shortages, stores just looted, people are at each other's throat. This is the tribulation the Lord's speaking of, that he's going to come right after that. And this is what we're quickly approaching. It says, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man come in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And that's what's going to happen, man. The Lord is about to return, man. And great judgment is coming. It's verse 31, it says, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect. And that's the ones that's going to be saved from the destruction that's coming, man. Those that believe and have faith in the Lord, those that choose to repent and turn to the Lord, man. That's when the Lord is going to have the angels gather his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other end. So the Lord is going to gather all the ones that he's chosen to save. So, like Christian church say, oh, I'm saved. Yeah, you saved for destruction. You ain't saved you ain't saved from the judgment that the Lord is bringing. This is only for a certain elect that he's chosen, that chose to repent and return unto him. This is Zechariah 14 in verse 1. It says, behold, the day of Yahweh Shem Yahushua cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee, and I will gather all nations. See, this is what's happening, man. All those nations are being NATO, all the nations in the Middle East, the Russians, the Chinese, everyone is gathering for this last final battle, man. It says, for I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle. And that's what's coming, man. The Lord is going to gather those nations over to take out the small caps, man. And we know, this is a deeper meaning of how it's read. And you should understand that, you know what I'm saying? Because we're not in the land, and those people are not the chosen people of the Lord. Verse 14 and 2 again, it says, for I will gather all nations together against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses raveled, and the women ravished, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity. And the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Then shall Yahweh shall go forth and fight against those nations, as when he fought in the day of battles. And see, the Lord is coming to fight against the other nations for what they've done to us, man. We read about that in Joel 3. So this is it, man. Ain't no turning back. It's only gonna get bad from here. So I'm in it there, Lord, when it was edifying. Shalom.